record here. And we're gonna record this session because there's a chance that some people cannot get in due to the issue that we had with the Zoom link. Therefore, we're gonna record it, post it, at least to get a chance to review the session. Welcome to the first session of Vancouver ChatGPT experts. We are here to learn and share the knowledge with each other. This is obviously called ChatGPT 101, which is absolute basics about ChatGPT. And, I would say, we mostly designed this session for the people who has maybe, let's say, never touched ChatGPT, never saw it. They don't know how it works, what it is, where is it, and what are the capabilities and features. Therefore, I'm going to start with this disclaimer. The ChatGPT OpenAI itself is new. The concept is new. The resources are limited. You are a lot to learn. And there are new versions, new product, new competitors coming out every day. And the fact is that we're going to learn all of us together. We call ourselves here ChatGPT experts because we believe we're going to be a little bit ahead of the other people. But, even me here, myself, I'm going to learn from you guys every time we're going to be here and joining a session. Unfortunately, we had some challenges with the Meetup.com while creating this session. For some reason, when I create the session, I couldn't change and edit it anymore. Anytime I want to, save it, it comes with some error. Me and Ahmed spend like hours on it. We submit many tickets with them, and unfortunately, we're stuck with a limit of 100 for a Zoom session today, even though we got another Zoom link, but we couldn't update the Zoom link. And last second, we realized their supporting created a copy of the actual Zoom session, and it messed up with everything. Anyhow, we are all here. We're going to move forward. Hopefully more people can get in, see the comments, this link and comment. Now, as Vancouver ChatGPT expert founder, first of all, I want to welcome all of you here. That was, for me, it was amazing, to be honest. I wasn't expecting this. Within 11 days, we got 257 members. And for the first session, we had 183 RSVP. And I had two other, experts on the field approach me and to join me as co-organizers. Then we are here all to learn, look at the crazy experience that we have. We want to have, online meetings every month. We had a little bit of chat today that, hey, when we want to make it an in-person, yeah, there's a chance this summer we even have some in-person, meetings here and there in Vancouver area. And at some point today, I want to get our first group photo here virtually and, celebrate this first session of ChatGPT experts. Then thank you everyone for joining. And I believe all of you are, deserve a round of applause. Okay. What we are going to do today, I'm going to have a quick intro, show you, show it to you. What is it? What does it do? Then I'm going to show you a little bit of how and what with ChatGPT, what are the options, and then Ahmed gonna, take over and go through a quick presentation about the possibilities. And at the end, we're gonna have a little bit QA and planning the next sessions. Does that sounds good? Everybody's agree? Good. But about time to time, I need to look at the chat box as well. Okay. We're going to start with the first thing first, who am I? I'm the founder of Vancouver ChatGPT. I got a master in computer science, PMP, PMI from SFU. I got my Microsoft Certified System Engineer from a long time ago, when it was NT4. I'm a strategist, go-to-market, certified as well as A+, hardware and electronic, expert. I'm a serial entrepreneur who developed 3 products. I'm working on my 3rd product right now as a project manager and product owner, running a team of 21 plus 1. Perhaps you can guess who is the plus 1 here. Nemo. And by background and education, I'm a software developer. But what you don't know about me, which I usually like to share something, that people don't know about me, is I love animation. I was in animation production for 7 years, and I'm still getting excited whenever I'm talking about animation. Anybody's interested in animation, want to see sit and watch an animation film, you can count me in. All right. Show it to me. When it comes to ChatGPT, you can expand it, expect it in any corner that you can think of. From health, education, literature, art, music, sounds, processes, analysis, everything. I'm going to go through very small, very quick demonstration first. Then I'm going to come back and again, continue with the next slide. But before even I do it, I want to walk you through, how I wrote about, ChatGPT, expert meetup group. What I did, simply, I asked ChatGPT to create the about us. And I'm going to show you how it works. That even the actual ChatGPT expert, about us, regenerated by ChatGPT itself. And then I'm going to go through more materials with you. Okay, let me show you how it works. First of all, if you want to access ChatGPT, you're going to go to openai.com, which is the founder, the website, the organization behind ChatGPT, as well as some other product. ChatGPT is one of their products, which comes in different versions. The GPT-4 is the paid version right now. Then if you want to get access, you need to pay minimum of $20 per month, or you can get free access to ChatGPT, platform. Then to get access, you can just click on it. If you're not logged in, you can get logged in with your Google accounts or just create a free account. And this is what ChatGPT is. Let's go with some simple examples, that I made ready here. Just want to bring it up and see that my always went behind all these windows I have open here. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. Too many windows. Okay. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write me a blog post, for example. And I just have this, I'm going to copy paste things because I want to go faster. Then I say, hey, write me a blog that explains to me 5 ways to be happy. Let's see what's going to happen. Amazing, isn't it? But it's all about the question that ask. I got a blog post, and it's quite amazing. But this is not what I was looking for. I'm going to change my question a little bit. I'm going to say, you know what? Not really. I want you to write me a blog post about 5 ways to be happy, but when it comes to hiking, exercise, and gym, and then being happy. You can see it's obviously different than Google search. What I'm hearing from lots of people is, hey, what's the difference between ChatGPT and Google search? Because you can do Google search and get the answer. Or is ChatGPT goes to Google and search it and come back with the results? No, it literally like another human, which is generating the content for you. It's a artificial intelligence, which is trained to act normal, human, readable, understandable conversation. Then you can just ask questions and it will respond. The more details you ask, the better result you get. Let me even change the question a little bit. I'm gonna change it to this. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, okay, I saw the answer you have for how to have more exercises to be more happy, but I want to revise it to the 5 unique points when it comes to seniors, and retirements. Then I'm gonna look at the new answer. You can see now it's even getting more details, focused on the exact point that I'm looking for. Because it knows when I'm asking for seniors, then anxiety, retirements, and many other things coming up. Let's imagine I like the point number 5. Then I'm gonna say, you know what? I want you to even expand the point number 5 for me, okay? Which at the time it was different. Then I'm gonna just take this one and say, hey, and write another 3 paragraph about this. And I can guarantee every time I ask to regenerate it, I'm gonna get some new answers. Then it's gonna be as easy as I say, hey, regenerate the respond again. Then it's going and rewrite another 3 paragraph for me from scratch. And the beauty is, I'm gonna have access to the both versions now. I can compare them, I can merge them, or even ask ChatGPT to combine them, okay? Let me do a little bit more fun here. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, would you add some humor to this 3 blog posts that you wrote it for me? Start adding something like a karate masters and a little bit of humor for seniors when it comes to, being happy. That was good, right? But something practical. Let's do something practical. I'm gonna say, hey, ChatGPT, you know what? I'm living in BC. I'm a landlord. My tenant is smoking pot in a basement. What are my rights? What can I do with him? Okay, then let's just try it. Giving a notice, eviction, clean up, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I'm wondering, ChatGPT, can you write me an official note, asking to move out of my property?
Allow. The video's on.
Somebody's not mute here. Okay. Then, as you can see, I'll obviously say, hey, I cannot really give you a legal advice, but here you go. This is what you probably can use. Then you can see options, possibility that comes with ChatGPT. Now, let's look at some other things. Can you imagine these photos are not real and literally generated with some artificial intelligence engines like ChatGPT and the other products around it? You can ask for something imaginary like lava eating parties, or some project like this that I'm gonna pass it to Hamid and let's take it over for this portion.
Hi everyone. I'm going to also just kind of share examples. A bit about me. My background is in data science. I'm working on a startup using ChatGPT. Actually, it was GPT-3, GPT-4, and ChatGPT is a version built on at the top of those engines. And so my hope is kind of work with during the presentation and share some examples here and also at the end of the presentation. So we decided to show you some examples from OpenAI partnerships that they already have some established companies, and to give you some possibility that that can disrupt a lot of markets. They can one that I like is that the Be My Eyes, which is for people that need some help on the visual accessibility. And if I don't know if you see the demo of the GPT-4, it can also interpret visuals like images and in a very kind of detailed descriptions, and utilize that information to start and continue the conversation. And if you see that, like if you have time to research them, you see the power that it brings to the people who need help with the visual accessibility. And the second example is Morgan Stanley, a company that is also under the Department of Wealth Management. They started to use ChatGPT in a very like a small pilot to kind of help people answer their question on their own. And also they are entertaining the idea and kind of if they enable their advisors, their financial advisors, to know more and do faster and more often communication with their customers. And you already know, like that, there's a lot of opportunities lost in these types of old industry like insurance and financial institutes because they don't do follow-ups. Agents just do the first kind of service and then they forget or they don't have the time to follow. So it could be very disruptive in the industry, and it seems that kind of the model is doing a good job. Stripe, it's like very interesting that the Stripe is going to more technical. So when you think about the Stripe, I don't know if you're familiar, it's a payment system online that is optimized for developers. So if you go to that website, you see everything is code, like an API documents and technical documents. And the Stripe team started to play with different ideas. And one of the ideas, like ChatGPT reads the documents and help a developer with the technical questions and help them to do faster and utilize this technology for their organization. And again, I'm trying to kind of invite you to think the change that is happening underlying of that. Like there are a lot of people in the support helping developers, like with these kind of basic questions, a lot of kind of issues they find. And now the ChatGPT can interpret the question and just look at the documents and answer the question with that context. And then that could be significantly changed, like a lot of making some companies more successful, and also it will affect like the support side of those organizations as well. So Ali can go to next slide if it's possible. So there are 4 examples here, and my hope is kind of just give you a taste. There are examples we've seen on ChatGPT with chat. It's write a blog, it's write an email. But when you think of it as an organization and jobs that a human has done it for centuries, forever. And Khan Academy is an organization that does training and teaching, and they are utilizing ChatGPT-4 and to kind of train tutors that work with each student with the personalized, tailored kind of services, and they can help each student to learn better. So they have the infrastructure, they have all the training materials built over years, and they are utilizing that kind of assets they already have at the top, and adding at the top of that, adding the GPT-4, so they can bring more value to their customers. But at the same time, I want to just kind of show, like, emphasize the part that we have a lot of people helping in this industry on tutoring and helping students. So there is a huge shift that is happening, like, and there is a new way of people learning and on their own and with a tutor that can understand and tailor their education for them. Duolingo, the same. It's more learning languages, and they do an amazing job, kind of, and they've done it for, I think, almost all the languages around the world. Now it's kind of, they are bringing this ChatGPT-4, kind of disrupting the industry of learning languages. And just want to just think about technology at the same time, think about lives and families will be affected in a good way, and good, and like, and also in the different directions, like different possibilities. So Yabel is so a lot of time you would already calling organizations, there's just support, there's someone answer your question, and or there is a long survey, they ask you a lot of questions. And Yabel unique offering is it consume all that information and make it create dashboards, create analytics for insights for executives to understand what's happening in their customers, what's happening in the people who care about their product and services. And Yabel, when we are complaining or like something and we are discussing or sharing that with the support person on the other side of the conversation, it's not a simple concept. We are talking about lots of details and we are adding here and there. We were struggling as an AI community, just kind of how we can extract insights from those complex messages coming or from our customers. Yabel utilizing GPT-3, well, very likely they're already using GPT-4. They tackle that problem, understanding more complex structure at a scale, so they can read thousands of reviews or feedback or customer communication and translate it into insights. But the difference is they were able to do it basic thing like a sentiment. It is a positive feedback versus negative feedback. But now they can go beyond that. They can go to very detailed aspects of their feedbacks, and that will change the game in that industry. Waymark, it's more in the video space. If I remember, I don't know if you created video like we are doing today, and if you want to record like a 2 minutes video to present something, the most of people struggle to what to say in each seconds of the video. If you have 10 slides, and you want to just say a specific part and they're different slides. This company is trying to tackle that problem. The thing is, even in one organization, moving from one presentation to another presentation, there are lots of details that guide what kind of information you want to present. And what is happening here with Waymark, they are trying to understand the context of presentation or the video you're recording and give you the exact, like a very detailed, tailored what to say in each seconds. And if you experienced some tools in the past, typically they are generic, typically whatever they tell someone in a manufacturing, they would say same kind of instruction or say same wording for someone in a consulting, IT consulting. Now ChatGPT, the beauty is it can understand different industry, their jargons, and how to utilize that understanding towards writing slides and the kind of presentation and videos. So that's, I think, I just wanted to share these examples. Ali will continue the conversation, but my hope is you think about this technology in the context of jobs and departments and the processes that we worked for decades, and now we are changing that in a matter of very likely in a matter of a year or a couple of years now. So yeah, that was the stuff from now, and Ali, you can continue.
Давай я хоть подивлюся той.
Ali? You're mute, Ali. We can't hear you. Yeah.
Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. All right, thank you very much, Ahmed. And let's see, what else we can do with ChatGPT. As I said, is all about asking the right questions. Let's think about some of the questions. Let's think of, what else we can do. You saw, when I ask about, writing a paragraph, how to be happy, then give it a little bit of context, or talking about, if I have an issue with the tenants or things like that, then you saw the response. Then let's look at some other options here. For example, if you're in charge of reading something, it's so easy. You can copy paste it in ChatGPT and ask it to summarize a text for you, or translate it with one of those platforms that example that Hamid explained as an example. Or you can ask for recommendations, some books like what you're reading or the context that you have, or even ask for research on some specific area and say, hey, you know what, can you help me with this and make it happen? When it comes to design, there are platforms right now, as you saw those sushi pictures or imaginary photos that generate by AI engines. You can ask for creating AI designs. Nowadays people generating photos and arts with AI and make money out of it. You have a blog or a video or whatever, you can ask for a thumbnail or a suggestion if you want pairing some font with your demographic, it can just come up with this. Or you can even around that some design ask for ideas. Hey, you know what, can you give me 5 ideas about this or that? And it works. General concept, create outline for a course or training. Imagine you're in charge of training, or even for your company, you want to make some marketing materials. Hey, give me a title, subject, create a course for me around this. You want to interview somebody in a specific area, generate 10 interview questions for me. Or you want to go and interview, hey, what kind of question they might ask me? Okay, you want to give idea, you're looking for a random winner in a list. Anything, just I want you to go out of the box, think crazy about it. Marketing, create ads for me, review what would be the error in my code. We didn't talk about the coding. One of the biggest possibilities about coding and programming, if you are in IT and programming, then you can ask ChatGPT to find you a bug or fix it. Okay, if you're in marketing, for example, that creating proper audience in Facebook or other platform is a big deal. You can ask for help. Okay, or if you have something, you need a proper title or a text or body or whatever, you can ask for it. As I said, in coding, you can just copy paste a piece of code and say, hey, can you tell me why it's not working? Where is the bug? I can't find it. Make me crazy. It will find it for you. Or if you want to change something in the front end, or you have a piece of code that you don't know, say, hey, could you explain it to me what this code does? And you will surprise how it's going to come back with some answers for you and give you some idea. But I don't know if you saw this news back from January this year, that ChatGPT passed the law bar as well as an MBA. That's interesting, right? It's already trained on these materials. It's not going to act like a lawyer for you, but as you saw, I intentionally asked about a tenant landlord issue, and it gave me a proper suggestion. The fact is all in all is about asking the right question. I keep repeating myself. But what's the right question means in proper term for ChatGPT? In ChatGPT, it's called a prompt. Okay. A prompt is a sentence or a phrase that someone types in the start of the conversation with an AI language model. Then if you want to ask question, the best way is to create a proper prompt for it and then expect the best answer from the ChatGPT or other AI models. But okay, what's a prompt? All right, let's look at the prompt anatomy. Usually a prompt has few actual parts needs to be involved. Okay, The first portion, which is really important, is the actual act instruction. Okay. You need to ask for a specific role or rule or behavior of that AI engine. You can say, hey, you know what? I want you to become a classic literature, writer. Something like that. I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to act as a marketer. I want you to act as a teacher. Then you have to ask how this engine is supposed to act. Now, draw a picture for it, like a context. Okay. What clear, explain the situation clearly. Okay. What's going on? What's happening? For example, yes, I wanted you to become, like a classic literature, and now imagine you are in a Victorian era garden filled with a rare and unusual plants. Okay, see, now I'm defining the context here. Next thing is, ask the proper task. Okay, I'm a writer, I'm in a botanic garden with the rare plants. What do you want me to do? Now define a specific task and focus on the exact inquiry you have, right? For example, describe the process of pollination in this garden like it's a scene of a Jane Austen novel. Wow. Okay, interesting. Now, next thing is that you have to properly define the limitations. What do you want to have? Okay, give it some guidelines. Okay, what kind of language? What's the focus supposed to be? Okay, then you define some of the limitation. For example, there are 3 plants here that are interacting with each other, blah blah blah. Now you can set the tone, length, level, voice, whatever you want. You can say, hey, you know what? I want you to limit it in only 300 words and add a little bit of a tone of, curiosity to it. And at the end, you can add any kind of guideline that you want. Okay. For example, write the response in the form of a letter. Okay. To somebody mature, and just copy paste this and see what's going to happen. You will be surprised each time you run it by the answers coming. And obviously, it's not something you're going to go and Google it and get an answer for it, right? But you will, as soon as you get more familiar with, prompts, you will see that people come in and say, hey, we have, 500 prompts, 10,000 prompts for a sale. Yes, people start creating prompts as a template and selling it around, but you definitely can find lots of them for free here and there. For example, you want to create a Facebook ad? There are lots of resources like this, going to give you lots of prompts that helps you to start. Okay. Or if you want to be more, deep in and find more resources, go look at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, lots of other platforms like OpenAI itself, or Midjourney, or forums, or things like that. Or even one of the easiest things that you see on the right side is I just search for ChatGPT cheat sheet. It's telling you, hey, you want to learn something in ChatGPT? Here you go. Use these words. You want to, create a chain of prompting. Okay, here are some ideas. Then it's, again, all about asking the right question. Now, any question here so far? Look at the monitor. Because if there is no question, I have asked for everybody here.
I have a question. I want to know where you got this. Is this from this page that you've got here? Is
To be
it
honest,
on Facebook, on Twitter? Where is this?
I think I got this one through one of the Facebook ChatGPT, Facebook pages. Then if you go to just Facebook and search for ChatGPT, there are lots of user groups and pages on Facebook. You can become a member, and people keep posting these things here and there. It's one of the hundreds that I found, see and online.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is going to be the next one, which I gave you a heads up at the beginning. Hey, it's a photo time. We want to have our first photo of the ChatGPT 101, Vancouver ChatGPT experts. Then I want to ask everybody, because we cannot put everybody in the same, screen. Therefore, I'm going to create some screenshots of everybody's on camera. Then I want to ask everybody, please turn on your cameras, smile and wave, and on count of 3, I'm going to, take your screenshots and put it in our group as a memory of the first ever Vancouver ChatGPT experts. Then anybody else ready to go for it? We have, I believe, how many pages here? 1, 2, 3, 3 pages. Okay, I'm gonna go for page number 1. I don't know who's gonna be in your page number 1. I'm gonna go for my page number 1. Then everybody just smile and wave to the camera. Okay, thank you. I'm going for the next group, page number 2. Let's do the same thing, page number 2, please. And we're gonna go to page number 3. Page number 3, nobody's on camera. Thank you very much, everybody. Let's do the page number 3. Actually, I've got some names. All right, great. That was the photo booths of our today's session. And next, I'm going to give it back to Hamid and let him walk us through another, practical test of, ChatGPT in a real action. Imagine we want to set up our next meetup session. Hamid gonna walk us through how he gonna use ChatGPT for this matter. I'm going to stop my screen share and give it to Hamid to share his screen. Hold on a second. Here you go, Hamid. That's all yours.
Okay. Thank you very much. So let me share my screen. And I'm going, before I start kind of showing you what I'm going to kind of as an example, I just want to give you a context. We've done it in different versions. So there are times that you want to write a report that to someone, and you have the outline, or sometimes you need help with the outline as well. And you want to write a blog. You already have a stats or some references, but you want to write it. And for me, the example I chose is the one that we were discussing with Ali for the next topic of the second session for this events we are running. So that was a question. So I said I would do the next, and for the next one I needed help. I needed to create content, and I decided to use the same example for you. But my hope is kind of you get the way I would approach the problem, the way or approach my task I have in hand, and try to make it as fast as possible. So if I want to, you would guess at the end, if I wanted to do it manually, the thing I'm going to show you how much time it would have taken me and how much energy it would it will drain my energy to just get to that kind of result I'm going to show you. So the thing is, as Ali mentioned, we always need to make sure that we provide accurate, very kind of data to ChatGPT. And for this example, I'm going to show you, for example, how I want to run a webinar on how to use ChatGPT as a business professional in your day-to-day emailing. So I decided to, for the next webinar, that's my area that I have examples I want to share, but I still need help. And I said, okay, this is the topic I'm going to talk about, but I wanted to get a bit more content and all that. So you will see why I'm asking these types of questions. So I would ask ChatGPT in this
By the way,
example.
Mohammed,
GPT,
if you share yours, I don't think you shared your screen yet.
it's sure.
Is it?
Sure.
Okay. Then it's me then.
Just can everyone see it?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Me, sorry.
Yes.
So
Oh,
is it,
okay. I switched my views here. Sorry about that.
So the
I
question about, I will get back to the difference between ChatGPT Plus. It's all about the speed and also access to GPT-4. I would say always stuff for free. We don't need GPT-4, but for us that we do research, we always do development. So sometimes we want to always get the feature, the latest feature. So let's continue that. So I want to do this. That's kind of exactly. I have a plan for it, but I need help to make it to capture the writing as fast as possible. So I'm going to click on that, and I need a context. So what Ali mentioned, sometimes you have instruction and you need to feed ChatGPT with information. So and the ChatGPT, the beauty is you can continue the conversation with that, and up to 3,000 words it can remember from the conversation and build on it. So the idea is if you have multiple chat back and forth with ChatGPT, you can still build at the top of that. So let's get this information. The reason I wanted to that, you remember Ali asking for happiness, 5 ways to be happy. I have a specific task, which is I want to teach people how to use ChatGPT for their day-to-day emailing, but I wanted to have very good quality context, data that I can use for the description of the event. So I asked ChatGPT to help me with that as well. So 2 benefits of that webinar with that topic, and also the pain points it will tackle to solve for the audience. Now I'm going to ask the ChatGPT before even writing the description, give me title. So I had a title with my own wording, but it wasn't a catchy title that I can share with my audience. I want to have something that once people see it in 2 seconds, they say, "Oh, I want to be part of this webinar." So the part that I did, I have an objective. I communicated with my own the subject. It's very clear what I'm going to teach. Then I use ChatGPT to give me more text content, meaningful content that use as a context. Then I'm using its creativity to write even for me some interesting topics. Unleash AI, mastering email with ChatGPT hidden powers, the email revolution, ChatGPT secrets for business success. So you get that. Like the one I wrote, it wasn't a bit exciting like the one I'm showing you to now. So so there are people that are joining. Okay. So let's say I'm going to say I'm let me find some skyrocket your email efficiency on ChatGPT untold impact. So let's say that is the title I'm choosing, and then I want to ask ChatGPT to say, okay, I'm choosing this title. That was the title I found last time. And write me a 5-sentence description. I want a 2 version. One is a short description, and the other one is a long 2-3 description, 2-3 paragraphs description. And in a few seconds, I will have everything I need to build my Meetup landing page. I have the good title. I already have a plan, but I'm going to show you more on that. But I have enough to share on the internet so people can find us, and if they are interested and see value in it, they can join. And the thing is, I wouldn't trust what the ChatGPT generated right away, or just copy paste. I'm an expert. I have an opinion. I have some kind of guidelines. I would tweak it. I would fine tune it. And if I'm not happy with the general way it is written or the information it's used, I would communicate that back to ChatGPT. And so, especially GPT-4, this is the first generation of ChatGPT that it itself corrected, it learns over time. So there is a change that will happen in the next few months or a year, that the model will learn better. Already you can guide the model. So if you say, okay, I don't like this part, and provide feedback, it learns from your feedback and correct it and rewrite it again based on that. So let's say we like this description, and I'm ready to move to the next step. So I created this content, but I need to make sure as many people as possible they can see it. So I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, and I have an audience. I want to promote this. I would say, okay, awesome. Write 20 distinctive tweets for me to promote this webinar over the next 2 weeks. The webinar is on May 3rd, 2023 at 6 p.m. PST. So when I click on that, let's see what it does. Yeah. So something as it writes for us, and you can read it as well, is I'm typically asked for a couple of versions. I wouldn't, and if I have like a sound, when you ask like a 3 paragraph, it's a bit too lengthy for the model. I would always try to make it as short answers so it can follow the instruction. I wouldn't ask to write the whole blog. I would first communicate the outline, make it the outline perfect, and I'll go one section at a time, and it feed information relevant to that specific section. But the model, if you play with that, it's like an art. If you play with that, you can write high quality content, very accurate, but you have to be very kind of patient and step-by-step guide the model. And sometimes I want to have my own opinion. I want to have examples to choose from. So as you see, I might just need 3 tweets, but I'm generating 20 because I want to find the 3 that I can find. And you know that it's a lot of creativity, and sometimes we just anchor to a specific idea we have for the tweet, and we just write around that. So I want to have new ideas that I can build around. So I'm doing it kind of as you see. Yeah. If you have any questions, just Ali, if you are monitoring the chats, sometimes it's best to answer the questions during the session. So as you see, the 20 was too much. So. But I have enough examples to play with. So now I created the title, I have a description, so I can create my landing page. I can make sure that, and also I'm tweeting everywhere. So I have inviting people with hashtags, with different communities, inviting them to come and join this webinar. My goal is to bring value, and I'm trying to get as many people as possible. So part of my strategy is to get these tweets. But also, consider like I have my own list. I have contacts. They know me for years, and maybe kind of. And I'm thinking this is a topic that might be interesting for them as well. And also there is a maybe list that we have in the maybe in our company that I say, okay, that might be also useful for my organization. At least the emails we collected from in the right way from the customers. I'm going to ask the ChatGPT, knowing the context, what's the topic, what's the description, and also some kind of ideas before and after that. Write 3 emails, and sometimes you have to. I want to make sure it follows the direction. Email, follow email, follow email. There are 3 interconnected emails that I want to send, and I typically put a name. For some reason, ChatGPT, there is a human name. It make it more real and more human. So sometimes I just say it's John, Sarah, and then I can replace the name with different people. But I typically, like, I want to write this professional email. Let me make it larger and write it as an exciting, friendly tone. Use a professional humor as well. I don't know if you see Ali's slide. There are some kind of there's a humor. Using humor is a ChatGPT sometimes does a very kind of interesting kind of tricks. It's still professional, but sometimes get the attention. And sometimes you want to break the templated way of talking to people. You want to be human. You want to be authentic. And there is lots of conversations around how we can get with the email and how to feed information to ChatGPT. But for now, you can play with the tone. You can provide feedback, and combination of all of that, you can generate emails. Yeah. So what happened, I'm reviewing, and at the same time, I want you to think if you want to run your own webinar or your specific event for your community, how much work it was, like coming with a topic, writing a good quality description, writing tweets, ready to go. And if I have a junior people on my team, I can assign them to just follow the instruction. I already have high quality content. I maintain the highest quality. Even the junior people, they can deliver the right kind of quality. And I have a sequence of messages now all together. Typically, when I'm working on that, I wouldn't settle. So you remember Ali asking the model to write 3 paragraphs for number 5, kind of a benefit of whatever the happiness. So the thing is, you can comment on a specific email. You say, okay, I don't like the last follow-ups. I want a 3 version, but by the way, I want to highlight this. I want to highlight this. I want to have this call to action, and so on and so forth. So, but the idea is, I'm delegating a lot of creativity processing, like as a start point to the ChatGPT, so I can focus on the bigger picture creativity. Like this is my brand. This is the way I want to talk to my audience, and that would be the emails like I would write. Okay, I'm going to do another last things, which is okay. Now I planned it for next early May, which is almost 4 weeks that I have time to prepare. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write 10 slides for me, knowing all the context, why people would come, what's the event is about, and it gives me some ideas for slides that I can use for the event. But I intentionally used the prompt that I didn't like, but the reason was it wasn't very accurate. It wasn't very the instruction was a bit general. So I started to fix that problem after, and actually I think I already fixed that. Yeah, I'm going to show you. Okay, so so as you see, I guided the model that I'm going to write emails about new customer, angry customer, negotiation email. So I'm going to have different live examples so people can start seeing in the context that every day they are dealing with emailing. And I'm coming up with the best practices, and I know people will learn with examples. So, but these are the 2 ideas that I had: maybe new customer, angry customer, and negotiation. And now I need some help. And I asked ChatGPT to write 2 other examples for me, live examples that I can use during the session. Collaborative project update email. So I'm collaborating with other people. I have a project update. I want to share how to do that. I want to request for a meeting or a conference call. Okay, that might be different. Sales proposal and code. I want to engage with follow up with a proposal that I already sent to the customer, a prospect, and I will see if they have a chance to see that. Write another distinctive examples, and kind of I have an outline. And I wouldn't be surprised if I start guessing that for each slide, I can start getting some ideas that like wording or kind of the way I want to play with the examples, so I can do the best job to our audience. At the same time, kind of I have a lot of the work already done. So the part I showed you, personally, it will take me days to get to that. So like it's a lot of energy. I have other things to do, and if I want to spend time every day here and there, it's a lot of work. And you have to delegate something. The person who is going to do a specific task, like writing tweets, that person doesn't know about the plan I have, the big picture. So they get lost to that the specific detail of writing the tweets. So it's kind of that's a kind of the opportunity that I can draft something. Now I have a draft. Even I can communicate with my partners, with our marketing team. I can share with the leadership team or other departments. I have a draft. I have a map, and that's almost ready to go. And kind of I have 4 weeks to just still play with it and make it perfect for my audience. So I think, Ali, that's example I wanted to share. I don't know if people have questions or.
All right, great. Thank you very much. That was a very good, practical example of how to, start with a one small corner and expand it and take advantage of this, amazing platform, which is nowadays
What are you
available
doing?
for everybody.
What are you doing? Oh, come back.
All
Come
right.
on.
Okay. All right. Then, as we have it's 7 o'clock, we have about, let's say 20, 25 minutes. I'm thinking of maybe do a little bit of demonstration on coding skills here. How about I share my screen one more time? And I'm going to my ChatGPT here. And by the way, how many programmers do we have here? Is there anybody as a programmer here? Anybody involved with programming? Yes, no? Fortunately, yeah, I can see Jeff.
I teach a course in programming.
You teach a course in programming. All right. Now I'm gonna show you how your students gonna cheat. Because if you teach the programming, perhaps the first thing you do, you ask them or you teach them how to do a hello world. Okay, ChatGPT. I'm gonna start a brand new chat. Okay, I say, write me a code for. Okay, it's hard to type with one hand when I'm holding Nemo at the same time. Nemo, sit. Word. In C++. It's probably lower. Okay. That was easy, right? That's even explaining why I'm including are you a stream and then what's the leg sign and what's the return 0 for and blah, blah, blah. Let's make it a little bit more crazy. Okay, I'm gonna say, write me a CRM. Wow. With weird language. Symfony. Okay, that's one PHP framework language that uses REST API for search. Is it complex enough? People knowing programming. Oh, somebody drawing on the canvas here. Then probably you can clean up the canvas, Hamid. Thank you. Then this task itself, I believe you have passed it to an intermediate developer to keep them busy probably for a few days. Let's see how fast we can get the answer here. And you never get such a kind of full documentation from a programmer. And I bet you copy paste this code, you're gonna have a functional working CRM with RESTful API that works on the searches. Is that amazing, Vicky? Okay. I keep some of the things that I did before. I can also show you. For example, a few weeks ago, we had some challenges on our SMTP server. Then I was asking ChatGPT, because we couldn't find the answer through Google search. Just asking, okay, can you tell me what's wrong and why we get this error? And it directly, WHM is a platform out there, it's a product. It literally walked me through how to fix that issue right away through the platform. Or I want to do a job post. We want to, hire a, junior business development rep. And I asked that, hey, what? I need a post for a, cold caller BDR. I got this. I said, okay, but this is the job post I wrote myself. Can you revise it? And it's come back with the revised job post. Ta-da! As easy as that. Or I had one customer, pinching us around pricing, and then I say, hey, you know what? We need to write an email, add some FOMO in it. You know FOMO, right? The little bit of a marketing term, fear of missing an opportunity. Say, hey, write an email with a FOMO in it, and boom, I got the email that, hey, by 1st of May the price gonna change. Then don't lose the opportunity. At least sign a contract to benefit from the current pricing. Okay. Then you can ask all these kind of things from ChatGPT. Now, I'm gonna go to the next slide here, and I'm gonna open the mic. Let me see how can I clean this canvas here. I don't know how. Do you also see some drawing on the screen, or is it only me? Yeah,
We can see it as well, but I thought it's our side, but it's not. I wasn't able to delete anything, so maybe that's whiteboard functionality on your side.
Whiteboard. I don't know. Let me see if I stop the sharing and share it again. I might have clicked on something here, but let's see if it's still going to be there. Oh, it's gone. Probably might be me. Okay. I'm pretty sure we have some people here that used ChatGPT before, and they have some experience with it. Then, that's, I would say, my turn learning from you guys. Then I want to know what crazy experience, fun experiences, or things you've done with ChatGPT, and how did you, got surprised. Then I'm opening the mic to anybody who has an experience I want to share with the rest of the group here today. Anybody?
Writing a cover letter.
Cover letter. Okay, can you tell us what was the challenge and how did you you receive the result, and what was surprising for you?
As you mentioned, when you're writing more detailed, the question is more detailed and detail oriented to actually what you want it to say and what you want the result to be. It was a cover letter that had to do with a senior customer service manager position, and just it was directly towards a certain company that was looking to hire, and just essentially just asked ChatGPT to write a cover letter with, this is the experience that I have, this is what I want to tell the company about myself, and then it was able to generate that.
Right, amazing. Good, thank you. Next person. Who's gonna go next? Malal? Sorry.
Yeah, thanks, man. Like I said, I am actually a certified funnel builder. So I recently trained on ChatGPT how to write a copy for my sales page. Literally, because like I have a previous software, more like a copywriting software. Using ChatGPT is more like an advanced method to be able to write a good copy, and will also help you to create more content, how you can leverage those content by your social media, like Hamed was saying. Like if you have a webinar, you can literally give the right prompt on ChatGPT to give you the actual copy, what you can use on your webinar, and then you can leverage those content for your social media, then be able to run, either you automate the webinar or you do a live webinar. It gives you everything. It's more like you can do anything with ChatGPT right now. So I'm training myself, because the most important thing with ChatGPT is more giving the right prompt. If you can be able to give a narrow your questions by giving ChatGPT the right prompt, it will give you a better copy and a better answer that you need to make use of.
Yeah. Exactly. The asking the right question, the better prompt you provided, the better answer you get. And
Yeah,
you want to be as detailed as possible. And the best way is to, find sample of the prompts and try to replicate them around your needs and get those quality answers out of it.
Definitely.
Right. Okay. Ricky, go ahead.
I'm really still not clear about prompts.
Okay.
It's a big topic, but I'm still not clear about it.
That's a very good question. If you learn it, I would like to attend your class and learn it too. This is still a kind of I would call it a mystery. Everybody trying different things and comes with different answers. There are, structures that we know, like the anatomy that I explained. Okay. Even if you ask the ChatGPT about the prompt, you almost get that limited answer. As I said, sometimes the resources are limited because everything is still new. Then people try with the trial and error to figure it out. For example, the first time I heard about the tone of the, add in humor or make it sounds professional or, add some fun to this. First time I heard it from Hamad, he said, you know what, I added and asked it in my emails and it worked. Said, amazing. I would never even think about it to ask such a kind of question. Sound like it works. Then what is the real prompt? We don't know yet, and we just trying, but I would say this is at least the core of the skeleton of a prompt, and there are lots of samples out there. Keep reviewing, keep reading, and see what you will be surprised. I believe, Hamad, you had something to add?
I think this is a slide. I think I wanted you to go back. The thing is kind of prompt. There's a science they call prompt engineering, and it's still a lot of unknown around it. But it can start simple, it becomes super complex. And the softwares or examples I mentioned, there are not one chat. There are lots of models working together. And what I would suggest is this instruction. So enjoy the power of ChatGPT, but never forget your expertise. Don't trust everything. Like, provide instruction, context, your information, your stats. This model could be very it has a strong imagination. If it doesn't know answer, it still generate good quality content. Sometimes it's not accurate. So the accuracy would be that guiding the model with your instruction, limitation you provide, the tone you provide, and I think this kind of 6 things you have on here. If you can take a screenshot. What's the instruction? Keep it simple. Sometimes a lot of people are worried about commas or things like that. It's still sensitive, that's right. But the big picture or the quality of the answer will be mainly on the instruction, the information you provide, and the guidance you provide to the model. Definitely, if you're advanced, you have lots of nuances you can add here and there. But I think make sure that you have the instruction, make sure you have information. Don't trust the model. Sometimes it just generate good quality, no accuracy there. But it does a good job. It's getting more factual over time. So the new releases of GPT 3 and 4, they are tweaked to be more factual. And so that's kind of something you can expect from over time. But I would say, just let's start.
Yeah. Bill, do you have any question?
Yes. What is the underlying source of the knowledge that ChatGPT uses to generate answers?
Ahmad, I'll leave it to you. You're more expert on that area than me.
So I might have read it, but I can't remember. But the general thing is it's a huge corpus of text. as from different sources. Could be maybe a lot of parts from Wikipedia, websites, different sources, and there might be the exact answer for that. You can ask ChatGPT; it already knows the answer. But the thing that you need to consider is, and also the competitive models coming from other organizations, is it trains on a huge amount of text and also with huge power of computational power. So if think about AI and machine learning over the last 2 decades, we predict things, we interpret things, we understand objects. The thing is, the amount of power you do computationally and the more complex model to process, that was super expensive years ago, and it's getting cheaper and cheaper. So the last 2 years, OpenAI, which is a company that you already know, was the first that built a model super expensive with huge computational on the huge data sets. So that's, I think, the general thing I would say. But the answer to exact what kind of information it used, there might be sources out there mentioning that. Maybe Ali is going to search that.
Thank you.
Knowledge. There you go.
I have a question.
45 terabytes of text that. That's a lot of text that. And that's only ChatGPT 3.5. ChatGPT 4, if I'm not mistaken, how many times is larger? Ahmed?
I don't know about the text, the amount of training, but I know, when you talk about deep learning or neural network system, that they have parameters. So GPT-3 was on 180 billion parameters. The GPT-4 is on 1 trillion parameters. It's like thinking about like a neurons of our brain. So the brain size is almost 6 times bigger than the brain of GPT-3. But the power is significantly higher, and I wouldn't be surprised that the data set is also bigger. But it's not always the data; it's always how how you would train the model on that data. So, but that's kind of the answer I would say. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I can see somebody else. Manfred. Sorry if I mispronounced you.
That's all right. It's correct. Hi. So I'm a photographer, and I also have a YouTube channel for photographers. And I've been using ChatGPT to help me generate titles and keywords and descriptions for the videos. And also for images that I give to stock, it helps me generate keywords and titles. I had a question about, you see, currently I describe the image. Can ChatGPT interact with images?
Yeah, go ahead, Ahmed. I just put some on the screen, but
so the GPT-3 was all text. GPT-4 is also text and images. The GPT-4 with image processing is in a private beta. So they demonstrate that on a different demo kind of events, but it's not available to us yet. And what I saw is you just design, okay, I want to have this website, this is the button, this is the form. You show the picture to ChatGPT-4, it writes the all code and it's interactive. So the demo was, one of the demo was that. The other demo was it shows a snapshot of a website, and it started to describe every element of the website in the details. And we already know when you describe everything in the details, you can also utilize that information to maybe do more with that. The first application I told you with the visual accessibility, actually they have that power. So GPT-4, look at the items in the grocery store, explain it to the person, and the person can interact and continue the conversation. So in the next few months, what we are expecting to see is there, but it's private. but the powers that's coming is like it's 10x more than what we see. But I know if you're in photography, you already would know about Midjourney or other platforms as well. Okay, so the other things I want to add, because that might give you ideas to other people and you. We have a customer and they have e-commerce of digital works. Actually, they're using the AI to generate that, but they have keywords and concepts, and they don't have text. So we were using ChatGPT to use those few elements, use its creativity as a, and you remember we tell ChatGPT to be creative, to be someone expert in art, and say, okay, now you're an expert in art. I want you to use these keywords and write 2 paragraphs about my artwork. So, and we started to play with that. We started to make it like a pipeline of 6 models working together to generate the description, title, the tags for the product. But the idea is, I just want to communicate is, you have to be creative, especially you're in the game of creativity. It's all about creativity. So that things kind of, you might play with the color, you might play with the texture, you might play with the theme that the photo has, and use that for an imaginative power. Guide ChatGPT to act as an artist, critics, act as someone who have a deep understanding of that. So with that guidance, it takes that personality and start using your wording towards that. So that was another thing that I saw that I thought might be useful for you.
Yeah, well, Adobe has come out with also a competition to Midjourney called Firefly, which is on beta right now, but they're going to be launching it pretty soon, which is extremely powerful. I've used that beta version, but that is text to prompt. It is not, you can't put in an image and it gives you titles and description from the image.
GPT-4 has it, and I wouldn't be surprised there are other alternatives coming as well. So from image to to description, it's coming. Yeah, I've seen the demos, but GPT-4 has it, but there are other competitors coming as well.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Hey. Sarah, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I been testing with ChatGPT a lot, and I actually found, so when you ask questions, and that they were quite like, often ChatGPT would answer, yeah, it's an opinionated question and it's hard to answer for me, or I can't answer because I need an opinion. So I actually started by creating chats, and in those chats you create characters. So for example, I created myself with my opinions. It took a while, but it's like training ChatGPT inside the chat. And as soon as you are at a specific stage, you're able to ask questions with it using that background knowledge to create those opinions that match your personality or someone else's. And also, like when you generate something, you can generate it twice or like a lot of times, right? And I found to use those different, so when you have a second generation, you can continue generating more under that one generation. So and you can switch between those chats, like it's multiple chats in one. And so when you use that to your advantage and create multiple characters, you can actually build conversations between those 2 characters. So you give them names and you can ask ChatGPT to create a conversation between those 2. For example, if you're learning English and you have those conversation pieces, so you know how to learn English in those conversations, you can create one is a student and the other is a web developer, I don't know, and create a conversation between those 2. So yeah, that's just something I found out thought it would be valuable.
All right, great. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. You're literally cloning your thoughts with ChatGPT then.
And I think, Sarah, you should think, let's maybe reach out to Ali. But I think the example you mentioned is worth sharing. And if you if you consider maybe 10 minutes or a couple of minutes, because the way you described it, it was very interesting. I'm curious to learn more. So if no one, if even outside, I just want to curious how you did it. But one thing that I also kind of seen and also did it is the context. That's the importance of the context, and sometimes you have to build that context over a couple of chat back and forth and get to that optimum design and the keyword and the way that the model can start acting like the way that you want it. So that was very interesting to hear it, the way you have two characters talking to each other. So that was very interesting to learn. And but you are right, sometimes I don't know what's the magic, but sometimes it should build that conversation, or you have to go through that process to guide it. And yeah.
Right. Okay. Having said that, as Hamid kind of at the start mentioned it, we are looking for more speakers, more topic, more idea to have more sessions here in our meetup groups. Obviously, me or Hamid don't want to be the only speakers here. Then if you have any topics, any experience, or some knowledge that you want to share with the rest of the group, we are more than happy to have a quick conversation and schedule you a session here and get you the chance to share the knowledge with each other. I can see Jeff is raised the hand, and Jeff, go ahead.
Thank you. I have a question. Right now, ChatGPT is using a lot of data from a public network. But can ChatGPT use the academic data, for example, the peer-reviewed papers, so to do some academic research work?
Okay.
So do you have any questions in or more kind of sharing a peer review, a more assisting a scientist? So can you elaborate more on what your idea?
So my idea is that maybe we can ask ChatGPT help us to do academic research. For example, in university, we need to research some advanced topics. But ChatGPT has no access to the current existing database. I mean, academic database. So can we input maybe 100 papers, peer-reviewed papers to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to do a literature review, gap analysis, and a research methodology suggestion? So it can help professors and instructors at university to generate maybe many research papers.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to share another insight. Thank you, Jeff. I think one thing that just for researching with ChatGPT, be careful. And you can try it. Just ask questions. Let's say how many users this software had. If it doesn't know, it still answers. But the thing is kind of the research, Jeff, having more 100 papers and moving it to the literature review section of a thesis. The problem, the limitation is still with ChatGPT is it can process up to 2,000 words. The GPT-4 is more powerful, it's 25,000. But it's super expensive. So the best practice is to break down that complex task of writing to hundreds of the smaller tasks and put them together as an expert. And always make sure that you don't trust numbers, information coming from, especially research. Everything else, like creativity, it's an endless possibility. But research, make sure that you don't easily trust the model information, especially when there is a stats involved or information like that. Again, it's not, doesn't lie, but sometimes it just continue imaginatively, just telling more and more on that. You can correct the model, saying, okay, you are wrong with this, and it try to remember things from other side of their its memory. But the things kind of, there is this research, be aware that there are limitations and you have to guide it. And the rule of thumb, as Sarah also mentioned, is complex tasks, make it super small, easy to understand, easy to follow tasks, and then as an expert, put them together. And so at least for now, for the next year or two, that would be the best way to approach these technologies.
All right.
Hamed, if I may add something on that.
Of course.
So there is this kind of feature that OpenAI has introduced, which is called plugins for ChatGPT. Now, plugins do allow you to do, for example, real-time API queries. So to Jeff's and to answer Jeff's question, you can theoretically create a plugin that say runs and calls ResearchGate API to summarize or do a meta-analysis on a couple of articles, and that can really help you with research. So look up ChatGPT's plugin system.
Yeah, plugins. I think they connected ChatGPT for the first time through plugins to the real world, real-time data, like current data on the internet. And combination of ChatGPT with those APIs or those external software, I think Jeff, that's very amazing point. I think the plugins was I think that will disrupt everything we've seen from ChatGPT so far. It will be 10 times more powerful because by accessing the real-time live data from the internet. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will try some like plugin, research plugin.
Yeah.
All right, great. Then I'm going to share my screen for a last slide here because we're almost on top of 90 minutes right now. Again, thank you all for joining us today. It was a great experience, for the first time with this group. We definitely would like to continue this, meetup and sessions once a month. Our next event, set up right now for May 3rd, and there's a session post, there's an event posted on Meetup group right now, but everything is announced as TBD or TBA. But the topic gonna be more around email, wizard and how to elaborate it for your business, usage. It's gonna be at the same time, like 6 p.m. Then please RSVP. And we will see you next time. Oops, yeah, let me just stop the sharing here. And I'm going to also stop recording.